special. Get ready for some clean old-fashioned hate. I mean, that explains it all. Clean old-fashioned hate as 7th-ranked Georgia makes their dog walk. They do so knowing their bitter in-state rivals want to upset big plans. Georgia Tech coach Brent Key said at Georgia all the way back in the summer, "There's nothing I hate more in the world." The Yellow Jackets have gotten a spark from the refreshed quarterback Haynes King. But Georgia's starting to look every bit the part of a national title contender again as Carson Beck has settled in the past few weeks. Between the hedges here in Athens, welcome to the SEC on ABC, presented by Target. This is Fairfield by Marriott Rivalry Week. For the 117th time, Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia's won 30 straight home games. Meanwhile, the Yellow Jackets are looking for their 3rd top 10 upset of the year. Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer with you. This is the 6th oldest rivalry in the sport. But forget old. We want to discuss what's new in the sport, and that's the college football playoff and the concern for Georgia. The easy path is just win the SEC championship.
Right.
But with already 2 losses, this game, this result matters greatly.
And it's a dangerous Georgia team right now. A lot of people wrote them off a few weeks ago after losing to Ole Miss, but then they bounced back, beat Tennessee. You get the chaos in the SEC last week. Now Georgia back in the driver's seat, looking to win their 3rd national championship in the last 4 years. They have scary talent. They've got a lot of senior leadership, guys that have won national championships, and you're right, Joe. They know if they win in Atlanta next week in the SEC title game, they're an automatic in, but they're not thinking that way. They're treating this game tonight as a must-win game.
Let's lock in on Georgia Tech for a bit. Their last 2 games has been interesting how they're going about it. All hands on deck at quarterback. Haynes King, back on November 9th, the upset of Miami, had 93 yards, had the big touchdown. Remember, Miami was previously undefeated. Then last week, the freshman quarterback, Aaron Philo, game-winning touchdown with 22 seconds left against NC State. So now the rambling wreck with momentum. Katie George, what's the plan at quarterback now?
Well, Taz, Brent Key told me pregame that Haynes King turned a corner this week throwing the football. He'd been dealing with a shoulder injury that was limiting his ability to throw the ball downfield. That's why they went to the 2-quarterback system that you mentioned. But Haynes King is feeling really, really good. That's not the plan tonight. He will start with the intention of running Buster Faulkner's offense in its entirety. True freshman Aaron Philo will be ready if needed, but this is Haynes King's show tonight. He's played in this game before. He's been in big moments. Brent Key wants to lean into his experience, Jesse.
Yeah, Katie, that's big news for this Georgia Tech offense as well, because Haynes King is an outstanding athlete. At 6'3", 215 pounds, he can run the ball, and he's explosive when he does that, and she's right. He got hurt against UNC, and even though he played the last 2 games, you never saw Haynes King throwing the ball vertically down the field. Brent Key told us pregame he was hitting all the deep shots in practice yesterday, so we're going to let him run the whole thing. This is his show, and you got to think the experience of Haynes King, being in these big moments, they feel he gives their team the best chance because of his ability to handle an environment like this.
This tradition-rich rivalry with so many in-state players who grew up together, and then the star quarterbacks. Haynes King is ready to go. Meanwhile, Georgia's Carson Beck, he knows what it feels like to win this rivalry. Clean, old-fashioned hate next.
The Nissan pregame drive is next after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching Rivalry Week, presented by Fairfield by Marriott.
Moments ago, Georgia Tech head coach Brent Key addressing his team.
All right, guys, all we need is right here. All we need is right here. This is about us. This is about us tonight. Maximize every play.
This is about us. Brent Key, who knows what it is to play in this rivalry. They played every season since 1925, except for COVID 2020, on what is a chilly night here in Athens, Jesse.
Yeah, this reminds me of the games I used to play growing up back in Nepean, Ontario, Canada. It's got that chill in the air, but it's ultimate football weather on Rivalry Weekend. The best, in my opinion, best weekend in all of college football.
There's Haynes King. We got the report from Katie earlier. And he's feeling very good. Georgia won the toss. They elected to defer as we are underway with clean old-fashioned hate.